Hello, beautifuls. I do have a message for you today, and it seems to be quite important. True Source wanted me to let anyone that sees this know. I just know that my messages do get a little bit blocked by this collective that is distorting the timeline, as you could say. But today's message is about what happens when something has been split for far too long and kept in the air instead of faced directly. You can only juggle two incompatible lines for so long before something just completely snaps and breaks. And that is what today's reading will show. Not delay, not a confusion, not more time to manage it better. It is showing that the truth has been seen clearly now. Because once something is already unstable, trying to keep both sides going is what brings the collapse in full. So that is kind of like the little bit of a message that I've been getting in the last couple of days, just on and off. I've been just gathering the pieces together. And we will dive into a reading here, but we will just grab a couple of oracle cards before we do that. So the two things that are being juggled is the old line and the new line, true line, old line. So this is distortion and truth. That's essentially what it is. It's as simple as two lines being juggled. So essentially the distortion line over here, what I have named it as distorted feminine collective energy, it tries to manage the true line over here by distorting and by delaying messages from it. So that's why I said about how my videos, yes, they do get a couple of views here and there, but they definitely get delayed, and people come in and they'll like say certain things to try to change the trajectory of where my message is supposed to be landing in the collective structure that is the old line. Essentially, I'm over here in the true line, and the distorted structure over here is projecting authority and trying to keep the true line over here covered from being seen. That's something that is happening. So this line, the distortion line, is trying to juggle itself, its own distortion, and it's also trying to keep the truth or the true line at bay, so it doesn't come up and have any authority on the physical sense. What I understand is the true line has authority underneath, so it doesn't really matter if the true line doesn't get seen, or it doesn't matter if these messages get blocked or muddied in any way, shape or form. The message still goes underneath, and it still reaches people, whether through dreams, through messages, signs, and just in general a feeling of discernment. This distorted line is supposed to be collapsed by now, but they keep holding up their structure and juggling things through extreme winning at all cost measures. So that's kind of what's coming through, just channeling that through. Let's grab a couple of oracle cards here. We have pure stream only. You are no longer downloading distortion. So this one here is for the true line. So these are normally for the true line, these oracle cards. So essentially it's a good verification for me, at least, that this message is not involving any distortion. It is the truth from the true line. And we do have quantum lock. What is truly yours cannot be intercepted. And that's exactly what I was just talking about. So what is truly yours will not be intercepted, even though it may look like it on the physical. So the physical realm is something that is delayed and it's behind. So what's happening in the underneath, the spiritual sense of the realm, these things have completed, ended. So many things have happened underneath, yet the delay is on top, which is the physical space where people can actually see with their eyes. All right, let's grab some cards from my oracle deck and just see what's coming through. We do have the Two of Cups coming out and the Five of Swords. Okay, so this here is a sense of both sides of the line. So there are two lines here. Normally the Two of Cups would show like a joining, right? So this joining is actually not something that is natural. There's this winning at all cost thing happening with the Five of Swords. So it's almost like the distorted collective here is trying to force a joining with the true line down here. So it's trying to like siphon or steal the messages from over here, and then they change them and they push them out in mass and through heavy movement. So they'll like push and push and push and push and push, and there's no gaps in between any of all of it. So that's essentially something. They're trying to force a joining with the true line that they don't actually hold. They don't have access to this, but they try to win at all costs by forcing that joining. It's something that has been taking place for a while, a long, long time. We have the Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel of Fortune coming out is definitely showing us that things are moving. The wheel is spinning. Something that the distorted section over here really wants to stop. It doesn't want the wheel to spin because it likes control. It likes distorting the whole entire world. It likes pushing this onto people because it can siphon the energy from all of the emotion, all of the false joining of people that gravitate towards distortion, the pain, the grief. The wheel is turning here, and that gives me that sense of like the joining or the juggling of the two lines can no longer stay like that for much longer. It shouldn't be like that right now. So the wheel is actually turning in the favor of the true line that's underneath all of the distortion that keeps moving underneath. We have the Empress coming out, and we have the Tower. So the reason why I waited there with the Empress is because the Empress can mean a couple of things. It could mean like provision, or it could mean what people say is divine feminine. I don't believe in divine stuff. Divine is the distortion. So this is the distorted feminine collective that I get from this, just from this next card that's coming out, which is the Tower. So the wheel is turning the distorted feminine collective towards Tower, and this Tower has been going on for a long time as well. A lot of this Tower has been under the surface, like they're trying to keep it buried, especially messages that are coming through talking about this as well. The amount of winning at all costs that's been going on in doing this. This Tower is now visible. It's undeniable. If you have discernment and you are part of the true line and you can see this, then you'll understand exactly what this has been said. And we have the High Priestess here. So this is like a really interesting reading. I haven't actually picked up my cards for a while. So the Tower moving into the High Priestess. So this is definitely a collapse of what's hidden. So what's hidden behind the veil that the distorted feminine collective has been hiding behind a veil, behind distortion, is becoming no longer hidden. It is collapsing. So the veil is collapsing here. The High Priestess just gives that sense of the same as the Empress here. It's the same structure. Then we have the Knight of Cups. So what has been exposed in this reading today specifically is there is this like, it would come across like it is a soft, could be romantic, but like I don't do those readings. So this is like a soft emotional offer towards the King of Wands energy here. And the King of Wands energy here is the true line sitting in its line and in truth. And then the only card that is in reversed here is the Star, which is really interesting, right? So what's happening here is the old line is trying to send soft emotional messages or soft emotional entry into the true line. It's trying to flip the true line into distortion. It's trying to keep its hold on its authority over distortion, and so that it doesn't collapse. That's essentially what I'm getting from this. This is not something that is happening or will happen. Page of Cups, the Fallen reversed, and the Page of Wands. So the distorted line is really looking at what it can try to do to stop the rise of true source or the true line. It's trying to juggle too much here. So the Page of Cups is really giving that sense of like multiple offers. This is soft emotional openings. They're trying to offer even materialistic things. So this could come through material. This could be in the form of it's like energetic entrapment. That's what it's trying to look for. This could be through dreams. And the Fallen reversed is the distorted line is overreaching. Essentially, it's not starting a new phase, it's ending its own phase. It's helping with its own tower by doing these things. The Page of Wands here is the true line underneath, and it is future orientated. So essentially what I'm getting from all of this is that this has been a long and winding journey for the true line. There's been many attacks on it. There's been many a lot of delay points, a lot of situations that have taken place all along this journey, but it's future orientated. Whereas the distorted line is the Fallen reversed. It can't start a new phase. And then we have the Seven of Wands in reversed, which is kind of an interesting card for me. It's giving the sense of the distorted line is almost at a point where it can no longer defend against the truth, what's coming through. It's almost like things are being exposed and it can't hold those things at bay anymore. Those things are starting to slowly creep through. So that's essentially what I'm getting here, is that the wheel is turning. Things can no longer be juggled anymore by the distortion. And this, in turn, is leading to full visible collapse of its structure that it has been trying to delay through veiled High Priestess energy. And its whole entire intention behind all of doing this is to taint or to invert the truth and the true line, so that no one ever finds it, no one ever reaches it. Basically, it doesn't want True Source to have any authority over its own creation. So that is the reading for today. Let's get one last oracle card for the true line. Collapse contract. Refusal is a spell. Withdrawal is an act of war. So this one here is a really interesting card too. Essentially, there is a lot of things that are going to be offered or coming inward towards the true line. So refusing these offers is a spell, and withdrawing also. So something that I've been doing lately is I haven't been posting a lot. I did have a conversation with True Source, and it told me to rest, and so I've been doing just that. And tonight I felt like I should post a video, and so I did that. So if you don't see another video from me for a little bit of time, that is why, because I'll be withdrawing from the field and I'll be letting this move through the field without interfering with any more messages. Anyways, subscribe, like the video if you understand, and if you are part of the true line. If you're part of the distorted line, I can tell. I'll be able to tell by what you comment, your energy, just anything. Like, even if you don't comment and you subscribe to my channel, I can tell. I do have very good discernment when it comes to reading people's energy, and I don't even need to use the cards for that. So, take care, and I'll see you in another one. Maybe shortly, maybe not. Bye-bye.